This podcast is produced by To the Moon Creative, located in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Whether you're an established or a new podcaster, To the Moon Creative offers the highest quality audio and HD multi-camera video podcasts. And if you already record your own podcasts, To the Moon Creative also offers affordable audio and video editing services with guaranteed fast turnaround time. For more information, find us online at www.ttmcreative.com. At To the Moon Creative, we do more than just get your podcast off the ground. We help you take it to the moon.
I welcome Stephanie Wilson to the Model Connection podcast. Thank you, Stephanie, for making time in your busy schedule to be here. It is an honor to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
In reading your bio from your website, I read that you have got quite a resume now, and you've only been doing this since 2015. How have you accomplished so much in what I think is such a short period of time?
I would say, I guess, devoting myself full time to my artistry and my craft. I really had to kind of gravitate away from working a part-time job or working at cosmetic stores such as Sephora or Dior. That way I could pretty much have an open schedule to be able to do services whenever they're needed.
Okay. I know growing up as a young girl, I don't know if anyone has the dream of becoming a makeup artist. What pushed you in that direction?
Ooh, yeah, I do get asked that question a lot. I think it kind of started with just having a fascination with all things beauty, not necessarily makeup, specifically, but I was the girl who would always want to, put makeup on you if you came over for a Christmas party or curl your hair. And then in high school, I started to get into actually cutting and coloring hair, not licensed, of course. But people trusted me enough and I was good enough naturally to where, I was kind of that go-to if somebody needed their hair done or hair trimmed.
Yes.
And from there, I guess just wanting to stick my foot in the skincare aspect and the makeup aspect as well as hair. Because, that's why I kind of wanted to go to school for cosmetology because it's just a generalized degree. Esthetician is only half the time, but that just specifically talks on makeup and skincare. So with the cosmetology program, you kind of get the aesthetics aspect plus makeup plus hair plus nails, so just all things beauty. And I figured if I got bored with one thing such as makeup or hair, then I could do skincare or facials or waxing or nails. And there's so many different avenues that you can go down, especially now in this day and age. There are job opportunities and new even job positions that are being created because of the internet and technology and production and TV and YouTube that, the sky's the limit. That's the beauty of it.
Right.
So
What is it that you enjoy the most about your craft?
and that's a hard one too, because I really love it all. I get asked like client wise, who's the most difficult. And, I've worked with celebrities and CEOs and just like very important people, um, and all the way down to brides and prom queens. However, even if somebody is very cold and standoffish and not like really warming up or inviting of my bubbly personality and just like my eccentric presence, um, I still love what I'm doing. I
Right.
still enjoy like every step in the process of that, of giving them that full service.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now, going back to your bio, you've done fashion magazines, productions, music videos, television. You've done work with local photographers. What do you enjoy the most? Is it the big productions or working with the local photographers, working with brides? What do you get the most enjoyment from?
Well, I guess every different category has its own, specific enjoyment that I get out of it. Um, you have, your brides and your big bridal parties and just the hustle and bustle and the excitement in the air. And, it's a big day for that client and I'm a part of that. So just in a sense, that kind of gives me joy to be able to see her face light up
Mm-hmm.
and be a part of that process of her looking back and that being the most important day of her life. However, it can be gruesome. It can be tiring. It can be hard work standing there for 10 to 12 hours just doing, you know, bridesmaid after maid of honor after
Mm-hmm.
mother of the bride. So um but once it's done and you're looking back at the photos and I've had brides send me flowers. I've had them send me fruit baskets and
Wow.
cards
Wow.
and thank you. I had one client. She has her own little Etsy page that she makes handmade jewelry. She made me like a pink mantis keychain and wrote me this sweet letter, saying thank you for making her feel beautiful on her wedding day. And so that the little things, make me happy and make it worthwhile. However, when I went to school, it was my dream and my goal, whether short term or long term, to be a production or on set hair and makeup artist.
Okay. Wow. Great.
And seeing my name scroll through the credits of a
Mm-hmm.
TV show or a movie, like
Mm-hmm.
that's that's really exhilarating because not only does it it help me prove to myself that if I set my mind to it, I can accomplish what I want, but it just kind of makes me hungry for more, And I guess I've never really done anything to where I just sat here and talked about myself. So sorry if I go on a rabbit
Okay.
trail.
You go right ahead because I know that our viewers and our listeners want to know all they possibly can about you. So,
That's
so
really
please do
cool.
so. Um, so you really wanted to be a makeup artist and seeing your name in the credits, it just gave you the drive to be more determined and do your craft the best you possibly can, right?
Not only that, but more frequently because, Nashville is growing, but it's really just a big neighborhood. Unless I were to move to New York City or Los Angeles, there's not a lot of, you know, box office hits that are filmed here. However, you do have, your local TV shows and stuff like that, but a lot of times, whether they're filming or for TV or movies, they'll have kind of like a private location. Um, and 9 times out of 10, it's not in Nashville. So, um, I guess just being able to travel, being able to network and meet people, being able to kind of, make my mark and be a part of a project that's way bigger than me.
Mm-hmm.
And, kind of leaving a legacy, whether it be something that my children want to do or follow in my footsteps, just, you know, having people remember me, um, and remembering me because I brought joy into their life, or because they saw that I was um, helpful or diligent or determined, and that inspired them. I don't know, ever since I was a kid, I wanted to be a million different things when I grew up, but I knew that I wanted to leave a legacy on
Wow.
on Earth.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, now. I know your resume is absolutely full of your accomplishments.
Yeah, we don't have time for all that.
You're
I don't
right.
think.
How have you found time to include being a model on top of that now?
Oh, and a mom of 2.
Mom of 2. Hey,
Uh,
that's a full-time job, okay?
100%. That was just kind of like something that fell into my lap. The opportunity was presented to me when I was doing hair and makeup on a model, and I had a photographer approach me and ask me if I had ever modeled before, and just kind of, I wouldn't say gaslighted me, but gassed me up in a sense that I didn't really have like the confidence, or um didn't think that I fit into that generic kind of model box, just because, I am kind of, I wouldn't say exotic looking, but yeah, I'm like, fully covered in tattoos, and I don't have a button nose or a proportioned face.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm flawed, and I always kind of thought that the stereotypical model had to be, um, 120 pounds and 5'10", um, just perfect face in every angle, no tattoos or piercings or crazy hair. So I just thought that was out the window once I got my first tattoo at 18. But after doing it and, seeing the images, a when I had no formal training whatsoever, like 0,
Right.
I once again impressed myself. So I just kind of, I would say modeling for me is more so a hobby than a career path,
Okay.
and it's just another doorway into kind of networking for my hair and makeup business.
And you have already been published in an inked magazine.
Mm-hmm.
Some great hobby you have there, young lady. I swear.
I know. It's pretty cool.
And you are so busy that I believe I remember you said you were leaving tomorrow to go to San Francisco.
Yeah, I have so much I still have to do and pack. And then I have to get up at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning, and I have a bridal party in Crossville, Tennessee. I have to drive back to Nashville to be with a client at 1 p.m. And then I have to catch a flight at B&A I have to be at the airport at like 5:15 at the latest.
Again, I am so honored that you have chosen to take time out of your very busy schedule to be here. Thank you so very, very much.
Of course.
Wow. Um, being a makeup artist, well known, much sought after makeup artist and a model. What is it about both that you enjoy?
I would definitely say the creativity aspect of it, and really being able to just create art. Um, I can do the standard beauty or glam or natural look, but I think being able to use modeling to channel like my eccentric or like unique artistic
Mm-hmm.
aspect and do kind of um crazy or not your typical or normal makeup looks. That's why I love those things hand in hand, because not only can I um kind of conceptually create with another photographer who in my book is an artist as well, uh and come up with, you know, a vision of how we're going to execute, you know, my concept and my ideas. And I mean, they don't always come out to be exactly what I pictured, but that's the beauty of it. They're
Mm-hmm.
still phenomenal images. They still kind of portray an emotion, or and that's why we do it. We want people to feel an emotion when they look at our images, and you know, again, just leaving an impression on people.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's why I've used modeling to like do my because I don't know if you saw some of the images um I've gotten pretty crazy with my modeling career or like gig. I don't know what to call it because I mean, I have gotten paid and compensated or whatever, but it's not like I can just quit everything and, you know, model full time because
Mm-hmm.
of the internet. Everybody's a model, right?
Right. Oh, yes. Yes. All the bathroom selfies.
Yeah. But yeah.
um, when you do and have done the music videos, television productions like that, are you given a set of guidelines? I want this model to look this way, or are you given free reign to add what you think should be?
No. So working for companies like ITV America and Sharp Entertainment, they're very corporate in a sense that they want they want a specific look on the talent. They want uh you know, you to do it's almost like less is more, because when you're filming, you don't want to see enlarged pores or blemishes or imperfections, but you also don't want it to read as if they're wearing makeup. So there's a finesse to it um, when it comes to like film natural glam.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I don't think I've had. I don't have. I don't recall having any job production wise where they gave me creative control.
Okay, how about us local photographers that have absolutely no sense of style whatsoever, try to match makeup with an outfit? Have you ever found yourself offering some advice that this might look better with this outfit or whatever? Because some of us have no sense of style.
Trust me, there's definitely a right and a wrong way to approach like unsolicited advice, whether it be a photographer or your mother-in-law. Like you have to be very careful with inserting your advice or what you think would look better. But I've gotten really good at, I don't know, asking the right questions and coming up with what they're trying to execute. Um, if we're looking at, I don't know, a reference photo and they like specific things in the photo, but obviously we're not shooting the same person
Right.
or scenery, we kind of have to make it our own. So that's where I can kind of insert suggestions or sprinkle my advice
Yeah.
onto things, because there's been so many different situations where I would love to just say, hey, no, I think it's best if you let me take control. I've been doing this a minute. Like your facial structure isn't gonna look right with that winged liner, or brown doesn't go with black, et cetera, et cetera. There's all these different rules to fashion.
And you have hit on exactly what we need, because I know personally I may see a makeup application on this model, and I want to be shooting this concept with it. But like you said, that makeup application does not fit on the model. And that's where we need your input to set us on the right path.
Right.
What looks right on the model for what we are attempting to shoot.
Working at Mac for years, they had like a boot camp where we had to learn how to shade match, and not just based off of like the foundation range or shade range that Mac offered, but they gave us like a white, I guess it would be like a dark mocha, and we had to match them based off of, these two colors that we had, a light and a dark. Also, artistically speaking, everyone's face shape is different. Not everyone has identical proportions or is perfectly proportioned. It's all kind of an illusion and a magic trick, if you will, and creating like, where those lights and darks are and what's at the foreground or background of someone's facial structure.
Right.
And on, Pinterest is where a lot of my brides get their inspiration or reference photos. And these women will have, perfectly heart-shaped faces with button noses and big, beautiful eyes. And it's like that huge winged liner with these super eccentric lashes may not look the same if you have a more like inset lid or downward turned eye shape. So it's just kind of like, being professional about it and suggesting things that may work better based off of them personally, like just customizing it based off the client.
Right.
And there's a finesse to that too, because you don't want to obviously insult anybody or put somebody down or make them feel any certain way for not looking exactly like a model in a photo.
Exactly right. Yes. I always had a hard time describing to my makeup artist the look I wanted. So, like you referenced, I would always try to find images of what I wanted the look to be like. And I'm like, okay, here is what I want you to try to reproduce. Is that pretty much the best way that we can communicate as a photographer to you, the makeup artist, what we want, and then you tell us in a polite way whether it will work or not?
Yeah, I would say if you don't completely know the verbiage or the specific terms
Yes.
of a smoky eye or
Right.
so on and so forth, then I would definitely say a reference photo would be great for kind of communicating your overall want.
When we, as a photographer, look for a makeup artist, is there a point on point certification that we need to look for to be sure that a makeup artist has had the training, has had the time to do her craft, that we can trust her to know what she is actually doing?
A lot of my clients or people that reach out to me regarding if they want to work with me or hire me, um, is by referrals.
Okay, okay.
So, and just kind of like looking at my images and seeing what all I've done and kind of the diversity
Hmm.
of my experience.
You mentioned earlier that after you did makeup and hair on your friends at a young age, that you went to school to learn the finer points. I was wondering if someone just, as you had said, just did makeup on their friends and then say, "Well, okay, I can do this. I don't need the training. I'm a makeup artist and now because I have done this on my friends. I've done my friend's wedding. I'm a makeup artist now."
Yeah, and a lot of times people will, get a few years under their belt and deem themselves a makeup artist. But and there's nothing wrong with that. What sets me apart from that is that um, I did go through a 1,500-hour cosmetology course where they teach you sanitation. They teach you all about the artistic side of it. They teach you anatomy. They teach you disease and I think I already said sanitation control. But what's crazy is I'm not going to go on a COVID tangent, but I will say that it would have been perfectly fine if I wore a mask and a shield to have still continued services um, a whole year after that whole scary part went away.
I agree. I
Because
agree.
750 hours of my education was strictly sanitation and disease control. And I even took a course, barbicidal certification course that touches directly on, the COVID-19
Hmm.
virus
Hmm.
and properly sanitizing your implements and utensils with barbicide.
There are people that have come up with so many allergic reactions. How do you know that a person that you are working with would not have some, hope this never happens, some allergic reaction to just the simplest makeup that you may have? I mean, how do you know? Is there a way of knowing?
There is. It's called a skin patch test.
Okay.
And you just perform a small patch test. You can either do it on the inside of their wrist, which is where they taught us in school. But I tend to pick a side of their neck just below their ear to do a
Okay.
patch test on
Okay.
because that skin is very thin, just like the skin on her face. So it's really similar. And if they're going to have a reaction on their face, they're most likely going to have a reaction on their neck as well. Even I would say I'm a more sensitive skin type. And, consultation is by far the most important step of my services that I offer. And that consists of, you know, finding out what the client wants exactly. Um, we go over the look they're trying to execute, their skin type, whether or not they have certain reactions to specific products or ingredients or chemicals. We talk about I offer a exfoliating prep facial, so um, those specific ingredients like glycolic or lactic or alpha hydroxy exfoliating
Hmm.
acidic ingredients, those tend to have um, more of, I guess, a reaction if somebody was going to be sensitive to them. Um, we would know right away based off of those. Now, I'm like the most sensitive skin type ever. And it's one of those things where your skin kind of has to build up a tolerance to it.
Mm-hmm.
So once you kind of introduce those acidic ingredients to your skincare routine, it could throw everything out of whack. So I recommend doing it like slowly but surely and using like a very low dose of, AHA or BHA, and using it in like a toner or a diluted cleanser is probably the best way versus going right into like a peel or anything like that. So I always consult with my client first and talk about, what they're using, or if they've ever used anything acidic in the past. Skincare brands have gotten really good about taking ingredients like formaldehyde or yeah, you shake your
Formaldehyde.
head. I am not even joking. I couldn't make this up. Um, I bought a lash adhesive not too long ago from a beauty supply store that said formaldehyde free on the back. They used to put all kinds of harmful ingredients, like that's why you see no parabens or uh, anything like that advertised on the products and the packages, because they used to put super harmful ingredients in our cosmetics and our skincare. And so um working at Sephora, they were really good with putting the brands through like this rigorous qualification list to even be deemed clean. Now the skincare has and makeup um game has changed. It's gone from 0 to 100, even from the time that I was playing around with my
Mm-hmm.
mom's Mary Kay
Mm-hmm.
at 8 years old. You know, uh, they're they're starting to revolutionize what needs to be put on our skin, what's safe. Um, Skin's actually really not that complicated. Like anatomically, it is, but everybody's skin needs hydration.
Right, right.
And after 26, our moisture barrier starts to deteriorate. So, um, you know, that's when you really kind of want to replenish like the anti-aging or vitamin C, or uh, even retinol would be good, because that kind of helps with uneven texture, and you know it helps. I wouldn't say it's preventative, because you can't like turn back the clock and undo, you know, texture that you already have on your
Right,
face.
right.
That's why like I was really adamant about asking young people what their skincare routine was. And I genuinely have like such the biggest passion for this. I would talk to a woman in the grocery store for an hour about skincare. And
Mm-hmm.
like if I can help bring knowledge and educate people into the importance of being preventative versus trying to undo things, like I I don't know. It's almost like it makes me feel so good, because I know that I helped somebody.
Yes, yes.
And like if I could go back in time, and I would kick my own butt for treating my face the way I did, and not washing it properly, and using bar soap in the shower to scrub my eyeliner and mascara off, or falling asleep for two nights in a row with the same foundation on. Oh gosh. If
But
I only
now,
knew.
back then, did you know any better?
Right. If I only knew then what I know now. But
Your
that's the
mom probably
thing.
never told you to wash your face.
She sure didn't. And
See?
she still doesn't wash her face or wear makeup properly. And I try to educate her, and I'll even give her full size foundation bottles and skincare and moisturizers and cleansers, and she won't use them. Like they would give us like hundreds of dollars of free gratis at Sephora, which by the way, guys, if you if you love skincare and makeup or Sephora in general, you can work there part-time and get gratis every single month from all the brand reps. I still have so much skincare and makeup that I don't even know what to do with. So I just kind of throw it in my kit. But
Yeah.
that's a beautiful thing if you're a makeup artist starting out and that's something you want to pursue. Getting your foot in the door at a company like Ulta or MAC or Sephora is great to learn, product knowledge, to learn ingredients and recommendations. And then also at some point, I think they're doing services. That's when I worked there. That's why I wanted to work there, is so that I could do makeup appointments and learn.
Okay. I tell you what, you are just a wealth uh, uh, of knowledge and information that I would love to sit here and talk with you longer. But you have brought some interesting photographs. And before we get to your photographs, I want to remind our listeners to like, follow, and subscribe on all social media. The links are in the description. Okay, Stephen, here is the first image that we are looking at. And this is a very recognizable model because the model happens to be you. So tell me what we are looking at here, Stephanie.
That is one of my favorite photos that I use to kind of advertise and market my business. It's one of the first headshots that my sister-in-law took of me, who's also an awesome photographer. Um, I don't know if we can add her info to the
Sure,
description or
why
not,
not? Sure, why
but
not?
I guess if we're giving credit where credit's due,
Sure,
I
why not?
definitely
Go
have
ahead.
to give her credit for this photo. And she's really good at editing too. But yeah, this is just a headshot of a smoky eye that I've done. And I would say it's more on the kind of bolder glam side, just because I use more blacks in a heavy liner. But it seems to be really popular because people want to be able to, I guess, enhance their eyes, but not look like they're a raccoon or go overboard with the liner. So
Right,
it's just the right touch.
right. That is a beautiful look. Beautiful look. I love that look. Okay, what
That
are we looking at here now?
that's a model who I did more of, like, I guess it's also a smoky eye, but it's more of kind of an earthy brown eyeshadow.
Mm-hmm.
You've got some reds and golds and crimsons in there. You can't see the back of her hair, but it's this really pretty French twist updo that I did. Um, I was only allowed 5 photos, so I had to.
5.
That's what she told me.
Wow. Okay.
But yeah, I would say that that image definitely portrays like a close up of the full glam eyes and the bolder lip.
Wow.
I wanted to kind of show diversity. So, um, the first one was more of a bolder, smoky eye. The second one was more kind of natural glam, and then this is kind of funky and eccentric.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yes.
but the colors really pop, and I was going for like that beauty editorial makeup magazine look.
Wow. Okay. Stephanie, those are great images. Thank you for sharing them with us. I've got one more question that I really think is going to be a very interesting answer from you, and I cannot wait to hear his answer.
Oh, brace myself.
Yeah, break yourself. I hope you have not come across this, but I know that we, as a photographer, can be hard to deal with. As I know, brides' moms can be hard to deal with. Even models can be hard to deal with. The so-called divas in the industry. Already laughing, aren't you? As a professional and the background that you have, the experience that you have, how have you honestly found to be the best way to handle those people?
Oh man, I just honest to God, like I love people, and I could really make friends and uplift the wall, you know. I don't want to say that I ever really have to handle negative situations, because I always try to I always try to look at my work and attack a negative situation in a positive way. I
Mm-hmm.
always try to come up with a solution that's going to make everybody happy. Um, like, it genuinely bothers me if I know that at any point one of my clients or coworkers or somebody that I was collaborating with was upset from something that I did. So it's like, it's really important for me to um, make sure and do everything I possibly can to so that they can walk away happy.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, it bothers me if I go home knowing that did something to upset someone, or I didn't live up to their standards. Like, I would do anything I could to make it up to them or make it right. And I don't know. I've learned through having my own business that regardless of what I have to do, my clients' referrals, my clients' satisfaction is first and foremost the most important thing, like, before my opinions and emotions.
Mm-hmm.
So, what I do in serving other people and doing services on other people is I really am, servicing them. I'm there to serve them. Without them, then my business doesn't flourish. And so it's top priority that like, anytime I'm having a difficult situation, if I approach it from a positive manner, like, I'm gonna figure this out and make sure that you're happy and satisfied, then it always works out.
Stephanie, it has been an honor to have you here. How can people reach you?
Um, if they go to my website, which is www.pinkmantisbeauty.com, and you go under the booking process tab, there's also a link to my social media: Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, IMDb, let's see, all of that. And as well as my email and my phone number.
It has been an honor talking to you. I could sit and listen to you for hours because this is what you do is such a major attribute to what we do. Okay.
Yeah.
And I thank you for that. In closing, I would like to say, I hope that you will like, follow, and subscribe on all social media platforms and where you get your podcast. All the links are in the descriptions. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.